Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Bears. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video in the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of Madden on the PC. Now today we aren't going to be doing so much of a normal rebuild as what we have been doing in the past, where we just do like a complete rebuild, however long it takes, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons, however long it goes, in one solid video. This one is going to be a little bit different. We're still going to be rebuilding a team, and in this case it's going to be the New York Giants, but we're actually going to take it season by season, episode by episode. So it's a little bit more of an extended rebuild where we get a little bit more in-depth and we can spend a little bit more time per season instead of having to rush through to make sure that it's not like a 4-hour video. And I got this idea, well, I didn't get the idea, but somebody had suggested it in the comments of one of my rebuild. I think it was the Washington 2012 rebuild, where somebody had mentioned, I forget your name, I apologize, but somebody had mentioned that that I should do, like, take one team and do one episode with a season, or with a year, and then another episode with a year, and that actually made me remember that I have done this in the past. If you go back on my channel a couple of years ago, I think with Madden 21 or 22, it was either Madden 21 or 22, I did retro rebuilds, I did flashback rebuilds, and I did a lot of stuff. I did the bust to baller rebuilds. That's going back a while. So basically the synopsis of those videos was I would take a team, whatever team it may be, and we would go season per episode, one season per episode. We would simulate the whole year. We would jump in a few games. Depend, maybe just to get a little bit of action, get a little bit of gameplay action. See, sometimes it was later down the line when we had some cool rookies, like if I drafted Aaron Donald at one point, or if I drafted Jameis Winston, or whoever it may be. Then you could jump in and we could see those guys, and you would try to rebuild a team. And I think I gave myself, how long did I go in some of those? Did I go 10 seasons? I can't remember exactly what the cutoff was, but we had like so many seasons to win how many ever championships we needed to win, and we would do one season per video. And that's kind of the general idea of this new series. I don't know if it's going to be a series, but it's going to be a few episodes. We're going to rebuild the New York Giants in the 2015 mod. So we're going all the way back to 2015, 2016, and we're going to be picking up from there and changing history, recreating it, redefining it. Maybe Patrick Mahomes gets drafted to the Bears like he was supposed to, or the Bears shouldn't have passed on him. Maybe other players go elsewhere. Think of other impactful players. Josh Allen doesn't get drafted by the Bills, or the Patriots don't take Mac Jones. Anything can happen in these changing history rebuilds. So yeah, that's basically a quick, very brief, very vague rundown of what this is going to be. It's not super hard to understand. You'll get it as we go through and we pick up and we go through more seasons with different teams throughout the next few weeks or months or whatever, however long this takes or however long I decide to do it. And also, once we get done with the Giants, leave your comments down below for what other teams you want to see. I'm also going to be doing a 2012 version of this, so it's going to be the same thing, just with the 2012 mod and not the 2015 mod. So we'll be back 3 years earlier than this one, just so that we can kind of encompass the rookies and the first-year guys that are already in the league in this one. Then we can go and change history back then and change them from getting drafted to whatever team they got drafted to. So, like, Odell is already on our team in this, but we could go back to 2012 and change it so where whatever team we pick up in that one, maybe it's the Saints or the Ravens, whatever it is, we could draft Odell to there and change history. So it's a very fun concept. It's a very easy concept to understand. I hope you guys are going to enjoy also the regular long-form rebuild videos. are still going to be coming out. I just wanted to inject this in so you guys aren't watching an hour and a half, 2-hour videos every single day. So we can get like 40 minutes, hopefully, in a video of 35 minutes, depending on how long I ramble on, which I've already gone for like 7 minutes now, so I tend to ramble. But let's get into the actual video, and we can go over some of the stuff and make it make a little bit more sense if you're still confused, but you probably shouldn't be because it's a fairly simple concept. So if you go on to enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's go back to 2015 and change history. We've jumped out of the time machine in the year 2015, and we are taking a look at the New York Football Giants. Obviously, we've got the historic, legendary quarterback Eli Manning, but he is 34 years old at this point. We know in real life he doesn't take too much longer before he retires. I forget the exact year that he retired, but it's not too much longer after 2015, and we will have to probably think about a new quarterback down the line. Now, we know because of hindsight that the quarterback draft classes the next couple of years are a little bit sketchy. Obviously, 2017's not, because you've got Patrick Mahomes in that draft class, and maybe that's where we go. But we'll have to take a look at some of these draft classes and figure out what direction we need to go in. There's obviously a lot of holes that need to be filled, so we'll have to figure out where we want to go there. Running back is definitely going to be a concern. We have Rashad Jennings and Shane Vereen, but there's not really a whole lot there. So do we draft Saquon Barkley in this alternate changing history universe? Maybe. Or maybe we're not in position to get him. I don't know. Things can change. Obviously, we have the phenomenal Odell Beckham Jr., who is still super, super young. And if you're wondering why it's taking me through the tutorial stuff, it's because I had to re-download this mod when they did an update to Madden. So this is the first time I've played it since I re-downloaded it. So they've changed things, and now it's thinking that it's the first time I played it. But this is young Odell Beckham Jr. in his second season. He is an X Factor already. He's a 93, but he's playing up to a 94. I feel pretty confident that we can keep Odell for the entirety of the rebuild. Hopefully he doesn't get too expensive, but we should be able to have the money. Everybody else on the offensive line is pretty much fair game. Even Eric Flowers. I know Eric Flowers is a rookie, and they've given him X Factor for some reason. I don't know how that's possible, because Eric Flowers is not that good of an offensive lineman. I don't even think he's in the league anymore. But in this alternate universe, he's got X Factor, and he's an 86 overall. So we could keep him around, since you don't really see a lot of X Factors on the offensive line. And he could be our franchise tackle. You never know. Or we could throw him out for a little bit of trade bait and maybe pull in some really good players. We've got Justin Pugh as well, straight off the couch. And hopefully he can become something for us. We know that he doesn't really become anything. He was a solid NFL player. The rest of the receiving core is not great. We've got Victor Cruz, who is a little bit older at this point, so we're probably going to have to move on from him. A little bit of salsa action. We've got, is it Jamarcus? Oh, it's just James Jones, straight up James. I thought that James Jones was somebody else. Whatever. We've got Ruben Randall, who turns out to be a bust in real life, but maybe we could change his career path. You never know. But this Giants team is a little bit sketch. On the defense, we've got young Landon Collins, who is got a development trade upgrade. That's pretty cool. And he doesn't have a player model? That's kind of crazy. But he is a rookie. X Factor. Hopefully the future and stalwart of the defense. We've got JPP and Big John Hankins. I'm hoping that they can become something that they didn't turn out to be in real life. Obviously, JPP was a solid player. He wasn't anything special by any means, but he was a good NFL player. And he is still pretty young, and how does he have a player model in the game, but Jonathan Hankins doesn't? He's 26 years old. He's probably going to be coming up for a contract extension within the next year or two, maybe even this season. So we'll have to keep we're going to have to keep our eye out on that, is what I wanted to say, and figure out what we want to do with him. We've got DRC and Prince Amukamara. Now, Prince Amukamara is still young, right? 24 maybe at this point? 26. Okay, I was 2 years off. That's decent for a corner. We'll have to figure out what we can do with him. Basically, this whole team needs a little bit of a clean sweep. We need fresh start, a new coat of paint, basically, on this Giants team. And I think we want to get bad quickly so that we can get good quickly. And the way that we do that is by trading some players and just like tanking. But we are coming up on the 2016 draft class, so we have to first off remember who's in the 2016 draft class, and then take that next step and figure out, do we think that the people in the 2016 draft class are going to be worth tanking for? That's also a big question. Do we want to get the number 1 overall pick, or at least attempt to get the number 1 overall pick? There's a lot of things that we can decide on, but we do have to cut some players. Ricky Stanzi, sorry, buddy. You didn't make the cut. Neither did you. Neither did Ryan Nassib. Certainly not. A lot of these guys can go and maybe try to get new jobs in the NFL, but probably just go start bagging groceries or do whatever you want to do. You're not good enough to make the NFL. I apologize, but we're in the market of trying to get good. Actually, if we're in the market of trying to get the best draft pick possible, we should probably keep these guys around, but we are going to unfortunately send them home with their walk-in papers. There are some okay guys athletically that we have on this team, but just not high enough overall right now. And there's DeMontre Moore. You guys remember him from was it the Pittsburgh rebuild that we had DeMontre Moore? It might have been. All right, so we're finishing up the preseason, and we will load in the first draft class, the 2016 draft class. Is that Jared Goff? I think Jared Goff is the 2016 draft class now that I'm actually really thinking about it. I think that's correct. Also, I want to mention, we will have to decide what we want to do with playbooks. Are we going to... We found out that maybe the Packer playbook could be solid. But are we going to keep the Giants, or are we going to change it really quickly? Let's go to the 2016 draft class. We've got guys like Jared Goff and Carson Wentz. Joey Bosa would be awesome. Zeke, maybe we just skip right from not taking Saquon a couple years later and just get Zeke right away. Or Jalen Ramsey would be awesome. We're in the market for corner. Anyone on the offensive line is pretty much fair game, like I mentioned. The quarterback class in general is not strong in this one. Goff and Wentz go 1 and 2. Then you've got, it really drops off a cliff. And to be fair, there's not much of a cliff to start with. It's crazy how Jared Goff has ended up becoming the best quarterback out of this class. People thought it was going to be Carson Wentz immediately. But you got Paxton Lynch, you got Hacky Sack, you've got Jacoby Brissett, Cody Kessler. I mean, you've got Dak. Do we consider Dak to be better than Jared Goff? That's a fine debate. I don't know. It's really your preference. We got 12 gauge, and then it's really not a whole lot. So there's 3 quarterbacks that are possibly draftable in this. Do we take the risk of Carson Wentz? I don't know. And then in the running back room, you've got Zeke, you've got Derrick Henry, Kenyon Drake, but then not a whole lot after that. So if we're in the market for a running back, do we want to just hold off, use those draft picks elsewhere, or do we want to go and get our running back right off the bat? I don't know. We've also got receivers, and this is not a good receiver class, at least in terms of real-life output or real-life development. But in the game, who knows? Maybe we could have a good season and get somebody up to star or up to superstar X Factor. You never know. We could take Corey Coleman. We know he doesn't work out for the Browns in real life. Maybe we could change that. Same thing with Josh Doxson or Laquan Treadwell or any one of these guys. We obviously know Tyler Boyd ends up becoming a solid receiver. But we've got Tyreek Hill in here. So, like, there's a bunch of people, and I'm just going to put Tyreek Hill on my board already so I don't forget about him. I tend to do that. But, I mean, there's a ton of people that we could take chances on. That's what these kind of series are fun for. That's why we do this kind of stuff. And we got Robbie Anderson down here as well, and Geronimo Allison, solid NFL receivers at a time. So, that's what these series are fun for. It's fun to take guys that we know in real life were either busts or just didn't pan out, whether it was injuries or bad situations or whatever it may be, and we could take them here and recreate their career and try to better them and make them actually what people wanted them to be in real life. That's the fun part about these. And with a series like this, instead of a rebuild where we're just like a broad view of the roster and all that stuff, we can take our time and we can really focus on an individual draft class at a time because it's one season per video. So The tight end class, not super strong. We've got 3 solid tight ends at the top, but then Nick Van Nett's fine, but it really just drops off the cliff after that. Then you've got the offensive linemen, especially the left tackles. There are some options here. Ronnie Stanley, Laramie Tunsil, Jack Conklin could be solid assets to get, but there's not really much after that. Left guards, the entire class really isn't that great. I mean, you've got Cody Whitehair at the top, but is Cody Whitehair really what you want to take? Maybe. I mean, he's projected to go 2nd to 3rd round, so I guess that's decent value for Cody Whitehair. Centers, there's not a whole lot here either. You've got Ryan Kelly, Nick Martin, Isaac Siamalu, I guess, is a pretty solid center. Austin Blythe, maybe. Right guards, you've got Joe Tooney, who could be a really good pickup, a really nice sneaky one. We'll put him on the board. Then you've got right tackles, Taylor Decker. You've got Jermaine Ifedi, who actually I think has been a solid NFL player for a few seasons, so something could happen there. I don't know. Not a whole lot of options on the offensive line. Now, we do know that later down the line, in a few later draft classes, the offensive line classes get a little bit stronger, so we'll have some options there. We'll figure it out. And obviously, you got free agency and trades that we can make. Defensive line, DeForest Buckner, Shaq Lawson, Jihad Ward, Carl Nassib, Yannick Ngakoue. There's some options down the board. You've got Matthew Judon as a day 3 projection, but I do remember from my Colts rebuild that I did in the 2015 mod that Matthew Judon starts as a super low overall, but he does have hidden development, so Matthew Judon could be a project. Maybe we take him in the 4th round or the 5th round, something like that, and we build him up. We give him that play time, and we let him develop. That's a possibility. There's so many different possibilities in a rebuild like this. And then we go to the right ends. Obviously, you got top 5 pick Joey Bosa, Emmanuel Ogbah, Noah Spence. We could resurrect his career or create his career because he really didn't get a chance that much in the NFL. But not a whole lot of options in the defensive line in general. Tackles, you've got Kenny Clark, who I do think is a viable option for us at late 1st round, if that ends up being where we pick. I would like to somehow come away with 2 first-round picks just so we can be a little bit more versatile in where we want to go, a little bit more flexible if we want to move around. I don't know how we're going to do that. Probably involves trading maybe Jonathan Hankins can give us a first-round pick. I don't even know. I'm sure Jason Pierre-Paul could give us one. But there's not really a whole lot. I mean, Matthew Ioannidis could be a solid value pick down the board. I do like that pickup. Outside linebackers, Leonard Floyd, Kamalia Correa, Deion Jones is a solid shout down the board. You've got Devondre Campbell, who could be interesting, and he's projected to go day 3, or no, he's projected to go around 3 to 4. There's not a whole lot. 2016 class is pretty top-heavy, and then it really falls off when you have the benefit of hindsight, I guess. Middle linebackers, you've got solid picks like Blake Martinez, Elandon Roberts. Those guys are fine. They're nothing special, but again, I'm saying this a bunch. We could turn them into something special. Josh Perry, I do like. Blake Martinez and Elandon Roberts, I'll put on the board. Darren Lee, Jalen Smith, Miles Jack, all these possibilities for guys that we could change the course of their careers. And then obviously Jalen Ramsey, you got Burnt Toast, you got Vernon Hargraves, William Jackson III. The cornerback class is decently good. I will say that. You've got some solid NFL players in this pool. Most of the guys that I just put on the board there. There's Jonathan. I mean, look at that. Post undrafted. Or potentially undrafted, I guess. For Jonathan Jones. Solid NFL corner for the Patriots. Ken Crawley. Brian Body Calhoun had a moment. I mean, you can find some value down the board. There's Mike Hilton. He's a solid NFL corner for the Bengals and Steelers. You can find some value. There's Kevin Byard, Sean Davis, Von Bell, Justin Simmons. I mean, look at all this stuff. Look at all this stuff we can find later on down the board. There's a lot of value. Strong safeties is a different story. I mean, you got like Jalen Mills. You've got Tyvis Powell. You've got Gerard Wilson, Carl Joseph, I guess Keanu Neal, maybe. I don't know. There's so much value, so much interesting things to go. As far as quarterbacks, I'll put Dak and Cardale on the list. I don't think we're going to go quarterback. I think we'll wait one season and then draft Eli's replacement in 2017. I feel like there's just more options there, specifically specifically Patrick Mahomes. Running backs, I'll put Zeke on the board. I'll put Derrick Henry on the board. And then that's probably going to be it. Yeah, it's probably going to be it for running backs. Receivers, I'll put Corey Coleman on there. I'll put Treadwell. The Giants obviously take Sterling Shepard in real life. I'll put Michael Thomas, Tyler Boyd, and Braxton Miller on there. We could go, obviously, we got Tyreek Hill. I don't really want anybody. Jakeem Grant's fast. We could get him to be a kick return guy, I guess. Like he is in real life, or was in real life. I'll put Geronimo Allison and Robbie Anderson and Robbie Chosen on there. The tight ends, Tyler Higbee could be a nice value pick in the 3rd or 4th round. Offensive tackles, we'll put Tunsil on there. We'll put Conklin. Left guards, Cody Whitehair, Connor McGovern. Centers, we'll put Sam Malu and maybe Graham Glasgow. Maybe Austin Blythe I'll put on there too. But that's probably going to be a little bit of a... Not probably going to pick him up. And then on the right tackle spot, there's not a whole lot that I want. Defensive line, I'll obviously put DeVorance Buckner, Shaq Lawson, Jaha Ward, Yannick Ngakoue, Matt Judon, surely. Romeo Quara, I could see maybe picking up as an undrafted player. Bosa I'll put on there. Ogba, Spence. Who else should we put on there? Probably nobody else in this. D-tackles, we obviously got Kenny Clark still. I'll put Robert Kimdiche. And you got to say it like that. Jerron Reed could be a solid pickup. I do like Adolphus Washington, but not for the... I'll put him on there. He's a Buckeye. He's got to go on there. Javon Hargrave could be a solid pickup. I got Ioannidis on there. David Onyemata still in the league. DJ Reader. Now that I'm actually reading some of these D tackles, there's some solid ones. Michael Pierce is undrafted. Got to get him on there. And then I think that is going to be everybody. Yeah, I started putting guys on the board. So I've got everybody that I think could be possible for us taking, and I got them all here on our favorite sports. So as the season goes, we will certainly take a look at that. They have us taking, or our big scout is a tight end quarterback. I don't like that. I think I'm going to go... is it a strong... It says it's a strong corner class. How many corners did I put on my favorites board? I've got a decent amount of corners on my board. Okay, so I'll make it corner and probably receiver as my top scout. So we'll fire Jessica Pang. And we'll go for corner and receiver as our 3-star national scout. There we go. Alicia Trenkle? Alicia? I don't know how to say your name, but you are now my national scout. Congratulations, you've got a promotion. There we go. And then when it comes to the time to choose our regional breakdown or our regional focus, we'll probably choose corner, but we could go receiver. Into week 1 now. Is there anybody that I would trade just to kind of start this off with a bang? We've got a 88 overall fullback, Henry Hanowski. I don't know who that is, but you're 88 overall, and we probably don't need you. What kind of value do you? You don't have any value. Nobody wants a fullback? We could trade Eric Flowers. We could trade Eli Manning. His contract's actually up. And I was correct. Jason Pierre-Paul is on the last year of his deal as well. So that might be a nice trade bait. Jason Pierre-Paul on the last year of his contract. We could grab a young Alshon Jeffrey, change his career around. Stephon Gilmore. D4, Jack Mewhort. I was looking for maybe a 2nd or a 1st round pick, obviously, but I don't think they're going to throw me that just right away. I might have to go and ask for it. Martavis Bryant a 3rd. There's got to be somebody that's willing to give me a 1st, right? The Bears currently have projected round 1, pick 1. That's kind of crazy. There's got to be somebody that wants Jason Pierre-Paul and has a top pick. The Browns have pick 12. That's not horrible. Is there any way that they would take Jason Pierre-Paul? There is. Oh, wow. I could probably get some decent stuff for this. I could probably give you some decent stuff. They need a quarterback, but we're not going to give them Eli Manning. They need a running back. I could see myself giving them Rashad Jennings. We don't really need him. Oh, hello. That is... I like the way that we're talking here. And I could give you Victor Cruz. It's not like we need Victor Cruz. I'd rather give you James Jones, probably. This is probably going to go through. Is there any way I could get like a 3rd round pick in 2017 as well? No? Okay. I can probably only get the 1st. But Jason Pierre-Paul, Rashad Jennings, and James Jones, 2 older guys that were just not going to ever fit in the plans. And then Jason Pierre-Paul, who's on the last year of his deal, to Cleveland for their 1st round pick this year. That is a big trade. We have 2 1st round picks. We're a little bit more flexible now. We are a little bit worse on defense, but we are a little bit more flexible. And I don't know if the Browns will re-sign him. They have the option to, and they have the cap space. It's just up to them to actually pull the trigger and do it. I think I'm going to trade Will Beatty because we have, if I remember correctly, we have some decent offensive line depth. We've got Marshall Newhouse, John Jerry, and then Justin Pugh. I want Justin Pugh to start. So Will Beatty's actually taking over right now for him. If we throw him in the trade finder, we can get not a whole lot. Rob Nikovich is 31. All right, we're probably not going to be able to get a 1st round pick for Will Beatty. But is there a team that needs a left tackle? Everybody needs a left tackle. There's got to be somebody. Falcons don't need one. There's got to be somebody in the league that needs a left tackle. You're telling me everybody in the league feels confident with their left tackle? I highly doubt it. Can we get Aaron Donald? I know we didn't draft him, but we cannot, not for Will Beatty, that's for sure. See, that's one of the reasons why I want to go back and do one in 2012, because then we have the option to draft Aaron Donald in 2014. But I guess there's not a single team in the league. And this is, by the way, Legion of Boom era, so be on the lookout for that. There's not a single team in the league that needs a left tackle, I guess. I guess everybody just feels super confident with their left tackles. That's kind of crazy. I guess this was an era where left tackles were in abundance and were pretty decent. I mean, some of these teams, left tackle is the top player on their roster. Eric Fisher's an 81, but he's super young. I'm not going to trade Beatty to the Chiefs because they probably want to develop Eric Fisher. They just got him a couple years ago. But the Colts, on the other hand, their best left tackle, the Colts' best left tackle is a 73. Plus their right tackle is an 81. Oh, they've got Joe Reitz. But Will Beatty's a higher overall. So left tackle is a need for the Colts. And they're probably not going to be willing to give me pick 4. Yeah, he's just not a demand. But I could ask for a 2nd and a 3rd. No, what about just a 2nd? Okay. They're being very stingy. I guess they don't want a 3rd round, or they don't want a starting left tackle, I guess. I don't think we're going to be able to get a pick this year. Not straight up for Will Beatty, but 2017 3rd rounder is a little bit more viable. What about 2018 3rd rounder? I could talk about this. What's our left guard situation? We got John Jerry. I'd be willing to give you John Jerry. You could use another left guard. Oh, okay. We're speaking the same language now. I am giving up some offensive line depth, but it's okay. How about I give you a 2018 6th rounder for a 2018 3rd rounder? Trade offer accepted. So Beatty goes out the door with John Jerry. We get a 2018 3rd round pick. That's for the future in a couple episodes when we actually get to 2018. But now the lineup and the team is slightly worse. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's a bad thing. I don't know. But I want Justin Pugh to actually start at right tackle. Odell's hopefully going to develop. We got Eli Manning. It's not a great team. It is not a great team. It's going to be a rough couple of seasons while we build the team the way that we want to. But we're just going to have to ride the bad times. We're going to have to ride the bad times and hope that it doesn't get super ugly. Free agency. There's nobody that I think is going to help this team because everybody is pretty much old or bad. So, I mean, we could grab Frank Gore, but is he going to do much? Probably not. And I think Shane Vereen is 80 overall, so Frank Gore wouldn't even start. So it'd be a waste of money. But let's start simulating and see how bad this gets. I have no idea. how it's going to go. I'm assuming we're going to lose a lot of games, but we will find out. We lose week 1 against the Cowboys. We play the Falcons in week 2. Playing Das Falcons. And we lost to them as well. Now we're playing Washington. Few upgrades. Landon Collins gets 1. Nice to see. We've got ourselves our first mock draft. What are they thinking for the mock draft? They've got Jared Goff going 1 to the Bengals. DeForest Buckner going 2. Jalen Ramsey 3 to the Eagles. If we can get up into the top 3, I would probably prefer getting one of these 2 guys. Either Bosa or Ramsey. I'm hoping that the... Who's the team that we just got their first round pick for? Is it going to show me? Okay, here we go. We got pick 16 and then pick, 4 or 5? Okay, so I'm hoping that pick 16 will climb up into the top 10 as well, and maybe even in the top 5, so that we can pull both of them. That'd be pretty crazy, but I doubt that's going to happen. I really, really doubt that's going to happen. Oh, we have an injury as well. I thought I turned injuries off. I am going to go turn injuries off. I thought that I had that already. Let's keep going a little bit, though. We lose again. We're 0-3. We got some upgrades. The punter gets an upgrade. Okay. All right, so I think I can see where this is going to go. We'll show the negotiations. We have a ton of cap room, so we can figure out what we want to do. Eli's contract is up. I will extend Eli Manning. I'll give him a 2-year deal. We're going to have to pay him, but I'm assuming he's not going to be around for the entirety of this 2-year contract, and he's coming back. So we got our quarterback, at least our veteran quarterback. I will re-sign Will Tye. Plus, he wants to be here, so that's a bonus. He's coming back. Will Tye's back. Ruben Randall, 24 years old. I don't really know what we want to do there. Josh Brown is 36. We could probably find a kicker at some point that's better than that. Who else? Nate Davis at quarterback. No, he's a right guard. I don't know why it says quarterback. Robert Ayers, 29. Not feeling it. Prince Amukamara is the last one. He's only 26. I could probably see us keeping Prince Amukamara if he wants to accept this. So we'd have to add a little bit more money to the contract. I don't know if I want to go too much more. Ruben Randall is an interesting one as well. I could consider a 4-year deal. That might come back to bite me. But again, I want to kind of change his career. Maybe if we put him in the right offense, something changes and he actually plays a little bit better. So that's going to be all that I do for right now. I'm going to simulate to the midseason mark. I'll bring you guys back in. But I think we're going to be winless headed to that mark. So I'll see you guys then. Okay, so we are in week 8, midseason mark. We've got the national focus we can look at. We got the mock draft number 2. It has Bosa with the number 1 overall pick now. Jalen Ramsey's actually dropped down. We are picking 3rd as of right now. Jalen Ramsey dropped to 6, so that's good. If we stay in the top 3, we can pick up Jalen Ramsey if we want to. We also pick at pick 12, so that pick's also jumped a little bit as well. So it's looking good right now. It's looking good for us right now. Jared Goff has dropped to 4, but still Cincinnati taking him. That's pretty funny. Are we going to get in a spot where we can get Joey Bosa? Because having Joey Bosa on the team would certainly help us out. But here's an important part. We need to do cornerbacks or receivers. Cornerbacks or receivers. We have a bunch of corners, but we also, I'm pretty sure, have a bunch of receivers as well, don't we? Yeah, we might even have more receivers than we have corners. But do we want to know more about the receivers, or do we want to know more about the corner? Probably more about the corners, I would guess. Yeah, because there's just so much more value down the board. Like a Kendall Fuller, we want to know a little bit more about. So I think I'm going to pick corners as my focus, and then we can just put some points in on some receivers if we're really curious about that. So that's where we're going to go for year number 1 in terms of the focus. The negotiations, I haven't talked about Amukamara just yet. I haven't renegotiated with him. So I'll give him a little bit more money. We'll give him $7 million, and he's happy to sign. Perfect. So we just bump it up $1 million. We bring back Pinsami Kamara for 3 more seasons, I think. I think that's a solid thing. It's not too bad. Oh, and by the way, I didn't even mention, we do have 2 wins. We beat it was like 0-4 49ers versus 0-4 Giants, and we happened to win that game. So, whatever. And then we also beat the Eagles, who were, I think, had 1 win or something when we beat them. Mark Herzlich is somebody who the teams want to possibly trade for. Unfortunately, I don't really like any of these options, so I would be interested in trading him, but maybe like a 4th round pick or something. I don't want to be too stingy, but I didn't like any of the players they were offering anyway. We lose to Tampa Bay. The Patriots are 7-1. This is in the Patriot Dynasty, Part 2. So we lose big to them. No surprise there. So we enter our bye week with 2 wins on the year. Very interesting. Washington has 3 wins, so they're not doing much better than us. We got some big upgrades for the boys. This first season's really all about getting our crucial players like Landon Collins, Eric Flowers, Odell Beckham Jr., getting those guys the development that they need, getting them the upgrades, because that's where we're gonna help out in the future. The Niners have not won a game yet. We're in a big battle with everybody having 2 wins, but the San Francisco 49ers are winless. Maybe we're going to have to do a video or a series like this with the 49ers in 2015, because I forgot that they were trash. Maybe we'll have to do that. I don't know, but we lose again, and to not a great team in Washington, so very interesting. We lose again to the Jets. All right. Odell gets another upgrade point. He's already a true 95. I'm telling you what, man. He's going to be a 99 within the next season. We are 2-10, taking on Miami in Week 14. Taking on the Miami Dolphins. We actually beat them. Whoa, I wasn't even paying attention. We actually beat Miami, so we have 3 wins now. That's not great. I need to check the standings again. Where are we sitting at? Patriots have clinched a playoff spot. The 49ers are still winless. But we now separate ourselves with the Texans and the Bears for the only teams that have 3 wins. But the San Francisco 49ers have not won a game this entire season. Are they doing the 0-17 to 17-0 challenge? I guess it would be 16 back then. But there are 7. You can see there's 17 games here. I wonder if there's going to be an 18th game. No, they've changed it. That's pretty cool. They've changed it. The modders have. They've made it so there's only 17 games. That's pretty cool. We lose to the Panthers. Only by 1, though. That's pretty interesting. Lose to the Vikings. We are 3-12. Final game of the season against Philadelphia, who we beat earlier in the year. You didn't see it, but we beat them. They're 5-10. They're not having the greatest of years. Have the 49ers won a game yet? They're still winless. We are now the only team with 3 wins. Everybody else got another one. The 49ers have pretty much locked up the 1 seed. The number 1 pick. Because even if we lose this game, we'll be 3-13. Even if they win their game, they'll be 1-15. It's just that the math doesn't match up. The math's not mathing. So it wouldn't work either way. Are we going to lose against the Eagles and clinch the number 2 pick in the draft? We actually beat them. Oh my God. We beat Philadelphia twice this season. We're projected number 2 currently. The Niners went 0-16, by the way. The Niners just went 0-16. Are we guaranteed the number 2 pick, or did that win sell our chances? It says we have the number 2 pick and the number 5 pick. Oh my God. That trade might have actually been goated, because we have 2 top 5 picks, which is exactly what I was hoping for. Oh, baby. 2 top 5 picks is insane. Who did we trade with? I've already forgotten. Who was the trade with? It was with Cleveland. That's right. Cleveland. I knew that was going to be good. I knew it was going to be good. Okay. So we'll simulate the final week. The 49ers have gone winless. That is insane. And I got fired. Oops. I will be back. I forgot to change the settings, so I didn't get fired. Okay, so I can't guarantee that every other team will have like 4 wins. The teams that have 4 wins will have 4 wins. But I will make sure that I have 3 wins and the Niners have 0 wins. Other than that, I can't guarantee anything else. I apologize. I won't make that mistake again. I'm going to go and fix this. Okay, so good news was I didn't have to re-simulate the season to recreate anything, so everything is the exact same that it was. I just had to change my character from being Tom Coughlin to being the new head coach, Mr. Juice. So instead of being Tom Coughlin throughout the entirety of the rebuild, we're going to be Mr. Juice now. And I have made it so I can't get fired anymore. I've made it so that only the CPU teams can get fired. Or can fire their coach. So that's a good thing. I didn't have to switch it. We still have the number 1 or the number 2 pick and the number 5 pick. I didn't simulate anything else, or I didn't change anything basically. So we're all good from there. Perfect. I didn't have to change anything. I love it. I absolutely love it. I do want to see the stats though. I should probably do that. I also turned off injuries, by the way. So it's actually Falcons and Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Chiefs were not really that much of a solid team back in the 2015 era. I mean, they were fine, but they weren't anything crazy. So Eli Manning, 3,300 yards, 18 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. That's a fine year. That's a fine year. No running back production, not a surprise. Receiving, Odell, I mean, if Eli Manning's not really doing that well, then your receivers aren't going to do that well. So Odell, he made the most of it, but not a great season. Defensively, Prince Amukamara led the team with 112 tackles. That's a shock, but I guess we don't really have a linebacker that is going to be getting that production. So, I mean, maybe Jonathan Casillas has 98, but not really. Herzlich led the team with 15 tackles for loss. Sack leader was Devon Kennard. Okay, very interesting. And then Casillas also led the team with 2 picks with Rogers Cromartie and Brendan Merriweather. Very interesting. I think next season as well, we'll stick with the Giants playbook because we might still want to be bad to get our quarterback. Who knows when we're going to get another chance to get our quarterback. So the Chiefs win the Super Bowl over the Falcons. So even in this alternate universe, the Falcons can't win a Super Bowl. Sucks to suck. Tamba Ali wins the Super Bowl MVP for the Chiefs. Rodgers is MVP of the league. Antonio Brown and Khalil Mack are the players of the year, and Tyrell Williams for the Chargers and Shaq Thompson for the Panthers are your rookies of the year. All right. We go into a crucial off-season. We have a ton of money, and we have a lot of positions that need new players. And we have mock draft number 3 we can take a look at. So, mock draft number 3. Oh, this is big. This is really, really big. So Joey Bosa has fallen. Where is Joey Bosa? Joey Bosa's fallen to 13. Wow. He was just number 1 and mock draft number 2. They have DeForest Buckner going 1 to the Niners. Don't care. Take DeForest Buckner. But Tyreek Hill has jumped up all the way to number 2. I don't like that because I don't want to take Tyreek Hill until his projected round 3 to 4. That's the only problem. Jalen Ramsey's at 7. We can really come out of here with some great players. We're going to have to see what mock draft 4 and 5 have to say, but that's really big that Joey Bosa has fallen that far. That's going to help us out a lot. As far as negotiations are concerned, we'll accept the option on Justin Pugh. That's fine. Not going to be that much money. But everybody else can pretty much take a hike. We don't need anybody. We're going to start fresh. This is a new era of Giants football with a new man at the helm, and we are going to jump into free agency. Hope it's good. We've got Derek Johnson, a little bit older. Sean Smith is 29. Quarterbacks are not of concern right now. Running back could be a concern, but there's not really anybody that I like. Anybody that I would want is not a high enough overall really to bother with. Receiving, you've got Marvin Jones, okay, Willie Snead at only 23. That's intriguing. I like that a lot, actually. I think and he wants to be here too. I think I'm going to put a little bit of an offer down on Willie Snead. Only 23. He's a 75. Star development. We could maybe grab ourselves a big-time receiver. That is not Aaron Hernandez. But maybe that's a good thing. Cameron Brate and Jack Doyle. I might go for a little bit of Cameron Brate. I was a fan of him when he was in Tampa. He's not going to be too expensive either. And he wants to be here. Left tackle, don't really want either of these guys. Left guard, we could do without. It's fine. Center, there's just not a whole lot of... I mean, these are just Band-Aids at this point, and we don't really want to go there. We could bring Justin Tuck back. Kind of on a legacy contract. Maybe he retires as a Giant. I'd be down for that. 2-year deal. Give him a nice little farewell tour, I guess. D-tackle, don't like anybody here. I always enjoyed Phil Taylor when he was playing, but don't want to get him here. Right end, not really. Left outside linebackers, John Simon. Shaq Barrett. I like Shaq Barrett idea more than I like the John, even though I do love John Simon. But I like the Shaq Barrett idea better because he's younger. Middle linebackers, Shea McClellan. Anybody remember Shea McClellan? Bears linebacker, among other things. That's where I remember him from. Lance Briggs is 35. DeMarcus Ware's 34. Sean Porter. Not really seeing anything here. I mean, Robert Mathis is 35. Corners. Grimes is 33. Munderland's 28. Don't really want to go for Sean Smith because he's 29. Chimdi Chikwa? I actually think it's Chimdi Chekwa, but who cares? Not a whole lot of safeties either. We do need a safety because I think Brandon Merriweather retired or just left the team. I don't know if he retired. Bradley McDougall, ooh, that could be something. Only 25. I could see a 4-year deal. I don't hate that. And then we give him that much money. That's all of our negotiations for season or for evaluation period 1. So we have targeted Willie Snead, Justin Tuck, Shaq Barrett, Cam Brate, and Bradley McDougall. Hit the evaluation. Everybody but Tuck signed, and everybody signed with us. All right. Very interesting. I will sign a kicker maybe. Who's a younger kicker that could turn out to be something? I guess it doesn't really matter. Randy Bullock is 26. I'll give him a 7-year deal. Just so we don't have to worry about kicker. Alright. What else do we want to do? I thought that said Tom Brady for a second. That was Tyler Bray. I didn't read the name very well. Free safeties. Kenny Phillips is still here and still kind of interested. I'll throw an offer his way, see what he says to that. And I think that's going to be everybody that I offer. I don't really like anybody else. We went through everybody. So we have 3 targets. They all decided, and they all signed with us. So we come away with some interesting players. I think the most intriguing one would probably have to be Willie Snead. And we'll see if these guys end up being here in the long run. No, I don't want to click on Ruben Randall. Generate best lineup. All right, so the offensive line still obviously needs some work. Justin Pugh's going to start at right tackle over Marshall Newhouse. But we add Willie Snead to the team. I like that. He's going to be our number 3 receiver probably. We need a running back. Probably not in this draft, though. And then on defense, we've got Casillas, who's a star development player now. Kennard is star. He was star originally. But we got Kenny Phillips. We got McDougall has some depth. I like that. Justin Tuck's now here on the left end spot. But one of these guys is going to get replaced by Joey Bosa if we end up going that route. I like that free agency period. I do. I really, really do. I'm just excited for this draft because we've got ourselves... we got ourselves some big-time picks. Pick 2 and pick 5. We can really do some damage here. Mock draft number 4... has DeForest Buckner at number 1. So the top 3 have stayed, but Bosa has jumped up to number 4. Very interesting. Oh, we don't have pick 2 and pick 5. We have pick 2 and pick 3. We got back-to-back, baby. This mock draft is really changing. So Ramsey's staying at 7. Jared Goff's jumped up 14 to number 8. They have us taking Tyreek and Jalen Smith. I don't want to take Tyreek at the top spot. I was hoping he would be where he's projected to go around 3 to 4. We'll have to see what the final one says at mock draft number 5. We'll have to make our decision then. But let's keep moving on. Keep moving and grooving. We'll see what they say. We still have a good amount of money. I'm not sure when Odell's contract's going to be up. Probably in a couple of seasons. He's still on his rookie deal, I would guess. But he's going to probably want a good amount of money. So free agency recap. Anybody of note gets signed anywhere? Donald Penn's a Bear. Derek Johnson's in the Seahawks, adding to the Legion of Boom. Lance Briggs in the Dolphins now. Sean Smith in the Raiders. I think didn't he play for the Raiders? I don't remember exactly. Red Ryan's going to the Cardinals. It wasn't that great of a draft or a free agency class anyway, so that's not a big deal. All right, the final mock draft. This is going to be huge. So the final mock draft has DeForest Buckner going number 1, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Smith going 2 and 3 to us, Bosa 4 to the Bears, Zeke 5 to the Jags, Ramsey 7 to the Texans. This is very intriguing because if I pass on Tyreek Hill and don't take him at number 2, does that mean that somebody's going to take him in the first round because he's up here in the mock draft? Or are they going to read that projection 3 to 4 and then he stays around? I don't know. There's a lot of questions here. Because I think I want to take Bosa and Ramsey. That's kind of where I'm leaning. I don't know though. I'm conflicted because now they've had him up in the top 2 since like mock draft number 2. So I'm so conflicted on what I want to do. I want to learn more about Tyreek Hill though, for sure. And I think I want to learn a little bit more about let's see. Who do I want to learn a little bit more about? We know enough about Ramsey. We know enough about Joey Bosa. We don't need to know about those guys. We know they're going to be solid. I don't need to waste my points on them. Maybe we take a little bit of a flyer on Dak Prescott? Or Michael Thomas? Or we should probably use it on some offensive linemen, shouldn't we? Probably some interior offensive linemen, I would guess. Maybe like an Isaac Seumalo, because he could go over and play guard. Or I guess we could get a true guard and get Cody Whitehair. You know what? I'll use it on Cody Whitehair. No, he's round 1 to 2. We're not going to really be in position to get him. I don't want to waste it on. I'll use it on Isaac Seumalo. That'll be my third one. Wait, did I not use it? How many do I have? Oh, I have one more. Okay. I thought I used my 3 already, didn't I? Who did I click on at the beginning? I picked Tyreek. Oh, I guess I didn't use my other one. Oh, okay. Use it on Devondre Campbell then. He's round 3 to 4. All right. It's a big moment. It is draft time. Is Tyreek Hill going to be in the first round? Or will he fall to the third round like he's projected? Which I hope is what happens. All right, let's get into it, boys. Let's start drafting. The 49ers have the first pick in the draft. They will take DeForest Buckner. True to form. True to form. But now we're up. It has us taking Tyreek Hill with this pick. But I think I'm going to go Oppo Taco. And I'm going to take Joseph Bosa from the Ohio State University. We need a dominant pass rusher. And Joey Bosa is that guy. Welcome to the team, Joey Bosa. 86 strength, 85 agility. Did I say 86 strength? 86 acceleration, 82 strength. Very solid player. Joey Bosa, welcome. What happened? What? Okay, I don't know what happened there. But welcome to the team, Joey Bosa. Now we have pick number 3. Do we trade down or do we take Jalen Ramsey? Because Jalen Ramsey was projected to go 7 to the Texans. So we could end up coming out of here with multiple first-round picks if we play our cards right. I would probably prefer multiple first-round picks, but it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get it straight up out of the offers. Maybe if I talk to Philadelphia, we could jump ahead of them, jump ahead of the Texans, make sure we still come away with Ramsey, and are able to. I know it's in an in-division trade, it's a rivalry team, but in the draft, nobody really cares. What about if I ask for 2 first-round picks and a third-rounder this year, and we give you pick number 3? Okay. What about if I take out the third-rounder and I add in a 5th-rounder? What about if I just take out the 3rd-rounder or the 5th-rounder? All right, so they want a little bit more stuff. I can get down with that. I can get freaky with it. They need a corner. Well, so do we. They need left outside linebackers. We have Herzlich. I'll give you Herzlich. Okay, they like that. They absolutely like that. I can give them a draft pick now. Although they want a receiver. I can give you Dwayne Harris, I guess. Or maybe Victor Cruz. I give you Dwayne Harris. Trade offer accepted. So our third overall pick this year, plus Dwayne Harris and Mark Herzlich for 2 first-round picks. Number 6 this year and a first-round pick next year in 2017. That'll help us out. Hopefully the Eagles are bad again. Who do the Eagles take with this pick? They take Jared Goff, so they've got themselves their quarterback. The Bears at number 4 take Shaq Lawson. Jags at 5, I'm assuming, take Zeke. And they do. And look at that. We've got ourselves a first-round pick next year, and we're still going to come away with Jalen Ramsey. Hot dog. How do you like them apples? Bada bing, bada boom. Jalen Ramsey, welcome to New York. That's the drafting god mentality right there. 93 speed, 93 jumping, 94 acceleration. I'm expecting X Factor from him. I'm expecting X Factor from both him and Bosa, but we don't know for sure. Now what will the Texans take with their pick? Hunter Henry in the top 10. Okay, Carson Wentz is a Raven. Leonard Floyd to the Jets. William Jackson III to the Colts. Corey Coleman is a Bengal. Josh Doxson to the Broncos. So maybe wide receivers running off the board. Carl Joseph goes to Washington. Dolphins take Vernon Hargraves. Burnt toast Eli Apple to the Bucks. Sheldon Rankins Chargers. Fuller to the Cowboys. Okay. Laquan Treadwell Saints. Lions take Kenny Clark. Ah, that sucks. I was hoping to get Kenny Clark in the 2nd round. I didn't want to trade up to get him. Steelers take Darren Lee. Rams take Emmanuel Ogbah. Cardinals take... Nope, Panthers. What happened there? We just skip a bunch of picks? X-Man goes. I don't know. Oh, it might have been... it might have been because of my control thing. So Tyreek is still on the board. We'll have to keep an eye on that. It might have been because of... I have it on autopilot, but it might have been doing that because I have control, I guess. Or I'm on that team. Raiders take Myles Jack. Packers take Laramie Tunsil. Ronnie Stanley goes to the Seahawks. Paxton Lynch to the Patriots. No! New England, don't do it. Don't do it. Nick Martin to the Falcons. Chiefs take Vernon Butler. And we're back to the 2nd round. Kamala Correa goes to the Niners. And we are up now. Pick number 2 of the 2nd round. Tyreek is still on the board. It has him projected at round 3. I think we'll take him at round 3, pick 2, as long as he's still available. We've got some interesting options, though. We've got Matt Ioannidis, who's a day 3 pickup. We've got Deion Jones, round 1 to 2. He should be pretty fast. He's got elite speed. Deion Jones is certainly somebody I have my eye on at this pick. We've got Jalen Smith still here. He should be pretty fast, too. He's got great speed. He's really athletic. Obviously, we know that he had that horrible knee injury that kind of ruined his career, really. Never really recovered from that. I could see taking Jalen Smith with this pickup. I think we stay away from corner for this round, and probably for round 3. We're not going to take Dak yet if we want to. Derrick Henry's still on the board, and so is Michael Thomas. I feel like we don't take Michael Thomas because we're going to take Tyreek. At least that's what I'm planning on. But do we want to grab Derrick Henry? I mean, we know what Derrick Henry becomes. He's obviously a fantastic Heisman running back. Obviously amazing in the league, King Henry. But then again, we got to think about future draft classes and future running backs. Do we want to just go right away right now? Sayamalu is actually projected undrafted. That's very interesting. Okay. Jihad Ward is also a possibility. We could pair up him and Joey Bosa, and maybe they turn out to be a really, really good combo. He's got A block shed, A power moves. 6'5" power rusher. Yannick Ngakoue is also on the table. better athlete than Jihad Ward is. Judon's a day 3. Kim Diche is a possibility. Filling in that Kenny Clark hole. I like his athleticism. Ooh, Robert Kim Diche might be my guy at this pick. I know that sounds kind of weird because it's Robert Kim Diche and he's a bust, but he's got good athleticism and his ratings are pretty good. It's probably either going to be him, Yannick Ngakoue, or Derrick Henry. And I'm thinking it's going to be Kim Diche. We're going to take Robert Kim Diche with the second round pick. He is only normal development, but I mean, those ratings you saw are pretty solid. If he has a good season, he could pass straight up. He could straight up pass Jonathan Hankins. So that's a good pickup in the second round. Now we'll see if Tyreek goes. There goes Henry to the Bears. That's actually a nice pickup. Deion Jones goes to the Jags. I did consider him, but I feel confident with the pick that we made in Robert Kim Diche. Robert Kim Diche. Keep it moving, keep it moving. I didn't mean to click that. Cody Whitehair is next best available. Joshua Garnett goes to the Broncos. Jaron Reed or Jaron Reed. Hackenberg to the Dolphins. Yikes. Michael Thomas to the Bucks. Jihad Ward to the Chargers. Jason Spriggs. Jacoby Brisket. Cody Kessler. Yeah, see, it kind of does a little weird glitch thing when it comes up to the teams that I have control of, I guess. Tyreek is still on the board. He's going to be our guy. Or do we go with Devondre Campbell? Maybe we try to get him to the third round twice. Because I do like Devondre Campbell. I think he could be a nice pickup for us. Tyler Boyd. Austin Hooper. Noah Spence. Kevin Byard. Carl Nassib. Cyrus Jones. Nick Virgil. Sean Davis. And Jalen Smith. Ooh, that's an interesting pickup for the Chiefs. And Kavari Russell, however you want to say it. Tyreek Hill is going to be our pick here. In the third round, we know how good Tyreek Hill is. He's got elite speed. He ran a 4.25 and a 4.24. Yeah. Welcome to the team, Tyreek. 97 speed, 97 acceleration, 95 agility. That's our guy right there. That is our freaking guy. Tyreek Hill. Now I might try to jump into the third round again to get Devondre Campbell. When do they say he's going to go off the board? He is still fairly low. Yannick Ngakoue is still on the board as well. There's a couple guys that I want. Oh, wow. We don't have to get at all, really. Round 4, Devondre Campbell might be there. But Yannick Ngakoue, I do like. I might try to jump and get him. Sean Coleman, Malik Collins. Ah, Yannick went to the Ravens. Okay. Yannick Ngakoue goes to Baltimore. I don't know. We might not have to trade up to get Devondre Campbell. He might fall to us at pick 2 of this 4th round. Joe Tooney goes. That kind of sucks, but we were valuing other positions more than that. Braxton Miller to the Lions. Love to see it. Parker Eniger. Javon Hargrave goes. Bronson Kafasi. Von Bell. Blake Martinez. Dak Prescott in the 3rd round of the Packers. Very interesting. Maybe the replacement of Aaron Rodgers. Who knows? Patriots take Alex Lewis. That's very on brand. Josh Perry. Willie Beavers. And Joe Doss. So we didn't have to trade up in the 3rd round. We might have even been reaching if we would have traded up to get Devondre Campbell. But I do think this is the right spot to take Devondre. So we need outside linebacker help. And Devondre looks really, really good. So we're going to take him. Only normal development, but I'm assuming his overall is going to be pretty decently high. Maybe in the mid to high 70s. Looks pretty solid. I like it. I like it a lot. That is our 4th round pick, and I think it's time to skip straight to our next pick. All right, 5th round. What do we do? Who's on the board? Ioannidis, Landon Roberts. So our board is starting to get smaller. Is this where we take a DJ Reader? Or maybe a Romeo Okwara? No, he's undrafted. We could get him in the 6th round probably. He does look pretty solid, though. Judon's day 3 as well. Maybe this is a pickup of Matthew Ioannidis. I know we already have Robert Kim Diche, but it wouldn't hurt to have Ioannidis either. Or we go Landon Roberts. He doesn't have the athletics that I'm looking for. Is the only concern. We could take Justin Simmons. He doesn't look amazing, though. I think we either take DJ Reader or we take Matt Ioannidis. And I think Ioannidis is the better option. In the 5th round, better pickup. Hidden development, I'll take it. Nice, solid pickup. I know we have Kim Diche. We just got him. But I like that pickup in the 5th round. That's a value pickup that I like. 6th round pick. What do we got? Jonathan Jones. So there are some corners on the board. Judon's still here. So is Reader. So is Aquara. A lot of defensive picks. I don't think we're going to go offense. Unless we take Austin Blythe, I guess. I think I'm going to pick up Judon. I know he's going to be a low overall. But we could stand him up and have him be a linebacker. Or we could have him down on the line. But that's a good pickup. I like that pickup. Judon in the 6th round is a value pick. And then we go to the 7th round and we see what's on the board. Our final pick of the draft. What is going to be available for us? A bunch of corners. So basically our whole board. We could grab whoever. We got pick of the litter right here. And basically all of these guys are going to be good pickups because it's the 7th round. So it's not like we're reaching for anybody. And Jonathan Jones actually has elite speed. His man coverage is a B. His zone coverage is a C. Do we go for him or do we go for a defensive lineman? I feel like we've already got too many defensive linemen. And maybe we could even pick up Okwara in free agency. Same thing with Michael Pierce. I'm gonna take Jonathan Jones. Normal development, but 95 speed, 95 excel. He is only 5'9", but that's another corner that we can add to the team. And we're pretty low on corner, if we're being totally honest. So I like this draft, man. We got Joey Bosa and Jalen Ramsey out of it. I'd say that everything else is pretty much a wash. Like, if you get those two guys in your draft, I'd say that's pretty good. Bosa ends up being a 75. Ramsey's an 83. Kemdiche's a 71. Hill's a 75. Campbell's a 71. Ioannidis a 70. Judon's a 59, but that's fine. We knew he was going to be a project. That's why we took him. And then Jonathan Jones is a 67. I'd say that's a pretty solid draft considering the draft class we were picking in. Best player in the class, boom. Jalen Ramsey. Nick Martin ends up being 81. Smith an 80. We could have grabbed him. Corey Coleman's a 79. Very interesting ratings for some of these players, but I'm fine with it. We got the best player in the class in Jalen Ramsey. I am perfectly fine with the way that first draft went and the way that our team looks headed into episode number 2. I like the way that we're looking. I like the way that we're cooking. Let's go adjust the lineup and make sure that the team looks pretty good. So we are still filling in some holes. The right tackle spot is a little bit, or the left guard spot is a little bit iffy. But we got ourselves a bunch of good receivers. We got Tyreek Hill and we got Willie Snead. I think at this point I'm going to trade Victor Cruz next episode. I'm going to trade Marshall Newhouse next episode. And we'll probably, they're both pretty young. I was going to say we start Cameron Brate, but we'll see what we want to do there. And then on the defense, Bosa will start it at right end. We got Hankins, Kemdiche, and Ioannidis. And we could always switch to a 4-3 to get D tackles more involved. Ramsey will be the number 2 for right now, but he'll quickly pass DRC. And then we've got Devondre Campbell, who's going to be a backup for right now, I guess. That's fine. Okay. Are we a better scheme fit at I mean, we're an 86. 77 for vertical power run. We're an 86 on a 4-6 defense. I'll keep it like that. I don't mind this. This is fine. Plus, that gets our better players a little bit of a better chance to play, at least in the linebacker spot. And that gives our rookie Kemdiche a chance to shine. Hopefully he does well. And we can always move Ioannidis over to the end. if we need to. But I'm really expecting Joey Bosa to ball out. Same thing with Jalen Ramsey. I'm expecting him by the midpoint of season 2. I'm expecting him to pass DRC. But that is going to be the end of the episode. I hope you guys enjoy this reimagined concept of what I used to do back in a couple years ago on the channel. I am going to be doing depending on when I put this video, I'll probably put this video out first. I haven't decided yet, but either I already have done it or I will be doing a 2012 version of this similar concept as well. So be on the lookout for that. I haven't chosen the team yet, or maybe I have and you've already seen it. I don't know. But as of recording, I haven't chosen the team yet. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, though. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.